Okay, so all this stuff was kind of pieced together from various purchases on eBay and other places, and I wanted to save money, so I did my best to get the best deal I could. So, I think I just DOSed myself. So here we have 128 gigs of DDR4, 32 gigs per card, and this is the type of DIMM. I think it's called like an LDIMM or something. I really don't know, but this stuff is actually cheaper than the memory that you'd find in like a consumer Intel board. So you can put more memory in one of these server boards for less money than you could otherwise, and you can expand it slowly over time, right? And instead of having 2 slots or 4 slots, you have 8 slots, and the board can support a whole bunch of different configurations as far as that goes. Then for storage, we got a couple of Gen 4x4 SSDs, just M2 SSDs. I believe there's 2 slots on the board for it. That's nothing that special, but it's nice to have a little extra space because, you download a couple 70Bs and you fill up pretty quick. Granted, I only do GPTQ 4-bit models. So we've got our motherboard, we've got our storage and our RAM, and then the other basically star of the show here is the Epyc Rome CPU, which I don't think I'm going to take it out of the wrapping right now, but that is a big boy. You can see all the pins there. This guy's going to go like that, I hope. But the reason for the Epyc plus ASRock rack combo is that you get these 7 full-speed PCIe slots. And what that means is that when the time comes, let's see if I can reach over here, is that you can start with a single 3090, and then you can just start racking them up. So in this example, we can get one in here, I don't know, one in there. I'll have to figure out exactly how many can fit in here. And if needed, you can use riser cards, or riser, they're not exactly cards. Let's see. PCIe riser cables. And the riser cable allows you to use any of the slots, but then have the card be somewhere separate. And for that, if you have a 3D printer, you can do something crazy and, print your own case. Check out 3D PPC, Reddit 3D PPC for 3D printed cases. But your cable can go in there, and then your card can go live somewhere else. And as long as it has power and data, you should be good to go. So that's kind of the bulk of it. I just wanted to get this video out so I could start playing with this stuff because I wanted to show you guys. I have so much appreciation for the local llama subreddit. So the motherboard, this was the pricey part, $670 on Amazon. You can get them on eBay. They're hard to find for that cheap on eBay. And then we didn't talk PSU. You don't really need to be able to max out your PSU, but I ended up going with an EVGA 1600. Is it platinum? I guess it's platinum. And this was a score from eBay. This guy was $210. So that's a lot of watts, and I hope not to need it, but I wanted to build something that would have the overhead available for the future. So big boy power supply. And then we talked about the CPU in the case and the RAM. The RAM was $160 for 128 gigs, which, if you do the math, it's pretty cheap. And the CPU was actually $155 for a 32-thread, 16-core, 32-thread CPU. This is only a 2.8 up to 3.2 turbo, so it's not the fastest, but it has plenty of threads. Not that multi-thread is that important for LLMs. 120 watt TDP, I think. So 120, and then each of the 3090s, let's say we did 3 or 4, we're getting up around 1,000 watts, 1,200 watts, maybe a little bit more. Fun fact, 15 amp breaker in the US at 120 volts comes out to like 1800 watts max. So if you exceed 1800 watts on a build, and maybe it's 2000, forgive me if it's not quite right, but once you get into the like 1500, 1800, 2000 watt area, you basically need more than one household breaker to run your system at peak load. Something a lot of people don't know is that you can downvolt, or not downvolt, but power limit NVIDIA cards really easily, and they still perform like champs for LLM use. So you want to power limit them down to like 250, 300 watts for a 3090. You can get away with that pretty readily. Okay, so we talked about all this stuff. The one other piece that's kind of important, and let's see if I can pull this off. For the case, I went with the Fractal Design Pop XL Silent. And the main reason, I'm not even sure if I'm going to open it up right now, but what I wanted to show you is that the case has, yes, 8 PCIe slots in the back. Most cases have 7. 8 is important because if you want to be able to put a wide card in that last slot, you need the additional clearance there. Ideally, I actually wanted to build or design and 3D print a custom sort of open air case that would be all cyber and cool. But in the interest of time and energy, I was able to pick this up. I think I got this on Newegg for Newegg, where are you? Vendor, Newegg, $80. So if you hold out for a sale, you can get stuff pretty cheap. If you go on eBay, you can get stuff pretty cheap and piece it all together. Now I thought this would be like a really cost-effective way to build a system. After I did the math, with four 3090s, it comes out to $3,700. So if you love your local llama, this is not a bad way to go. But yeah, I went with this situation with the ASRock rack board, and I paid the money up front for the server board so that I would have expansion for the future. Okay, that's all. I'll see you guys around the sub.